Hey guys, welcome to my channel. And now we're actually live. And no, we live. So I had planned to come on today to do a candid live about um my personal life. Start to letting you guys in, allowing you guys to learn who I am, talking more about the things that I have going on, all of that. And so I had set it up and I had it to where I just needed to come sit down and push the button. But unbeknownst to me, somehow I pushed the button anyway. I'm sitting over there and got sidetracked and watching another live in some other business. Come to find out, yeah, I'm on live. All I see, I go on to um, my home screen on YouTube and see my feed. It's like, what's that? And then I'm like, Lord, I'm hallucinating. Come to find out, I wasn't hallucinating at all. I was live for about 20 damn minutes and didn't know it. Shit, I might need to go back and watch that because I hope I ain't saying nothing that I didn't need to say. Which I wasn't talking about nobody, but you know how you could say stuff that you wouldn't necessarily say if you were on live. Yeah, I hope I didn't have one of them situations. So, but anyway, um, I need to check that out. I hope you guys have had a good day today. I need to go into my private group and let them know we on here. We in this thing. Um, I'll let you guys. Let me go over here and let them know. I don't know if anybody is. I don't know if anybody is in here because obviously it is a holiday and everything. So anyway, give me 1 second while I do this. I was over there watching a live that um Tiana J says she tired. Mom life got her tired. Hey y'all. Maybe I can get in here this way. Maybe I can get in here this way. I'm trying to get to the channel, y'all. Just bear with me just a second. A second. So as you guys come in, if you are a veteran, active duty, or military affiliated adjacent, that means that you may be married to someone who falls under these categories, let me know. I'm trying to get the link to this live. Play, save to share, copy link. And I'm going to take this link over to my private group and I'm going to go ahead and put it in there. So I am open for questions if you guys if you guys have questions. So I'm going to start out the way I guess you should start out. I'm going to start out the way you should start out if, as you create a channel like this about something like your life or a subject specifically. Um, and then we'll go from there. Um, so I'm just me CMB. This is my channel. This is my personal channel, so like a blogging channel, more so than my main channel. I do commentary, so I talk about situations, I talk about subjects, primarily, excuse me, primarily things related to mommy content. Um, I also talk about, trending topics that happen, things of that nature. Um, so um, that's what I do on my main channel. But here, this is my personal life, personal channel now. I'm honest with them over there. People feel like because you have depression that, something's wrong with you to the point that um, you can't have an opinion, things like that. And I guess they're entitled to their opinion, just like you're entitled to yours when you talk about the things you talk about. So that's kind of that on that. Whatever the case is, so I'm going to introduce you guys to me and my personal life. This channel is really about me, about the things that I go through, me being social in the way that I can, because I'm a person that has PTSD, post traumatic stress disorder, subsets of that, uh, social anxiety disorder, and things like that. They don't really socialize the same way that other people do. So, um, yeah, so I guess this is me socializing. So whenever I have the ability to do so, I can. I have chronic sleep issues. I don't know an actual diagnosis for that, but whatever. Um, so we already got people in here that is going to get kicked the fuck out of here because, like, um, yeah, I'm just not about that life, sweetie. Not at all. Um, um, he made me lose my train of thought. But anyway, I was talking about being social, so I'm doing it the way that I can do it. I didn't realize it was raining outside. Anyway, um, so I have depression, I have PTSD, social anxiety disorder, agoraphobia. I have a lot of little things, but they just really are all under one umbrella, which is PTSD. I also am a disabled vet. Um, most of my conditions are service connected. A lot of them aren't. Um, so that's kind of where I am when it comes to the now. That's, I guess, oh, yeah, I guess that's supposed to be me, the soldier back there. I mean, I'm sure I knew what I was doing when I don't remember. Yeah. Anyway, so I just wanted to start talking about living with this condition. I have a commentary channel, so people feel like that me talking about other situations that happen in life um is odd because I have other situations. I have my situations. So they feel that I don't have intellect, that just because I deal with things from time to time doesn't mean that I am smart enough to know right from wrong, to know people in other situations could handle things a different way, which is kind of, it's not really ironic. It's funny, I guess. So this is just a channel that I created for myself that I could be a little bit more candid about what I deal with and go through. Um, that I'm gonna put a question up here, guys. Start a and answer. Let's stop this one because this is not what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to, I don't even know how to put it up here. How do you put it up here? Um, I wanted to put a question up there saying, are you a veteran? But I don't know how to do it. So I guess we move on. Playables. I guess as time goes by, I'll learn how to do it. So can't do it now. But anyway, yeah, I'm just I find it interesting that people feel like that you can't know things because you go through things. So, um, I mean, I guess they have the right to think that, but I don't know. Um, this is a condition that you always have. It's not something, but what I find interesting is that a lot of people who have depression, they don't stay in it. They have good times and then they have down times and then they have good times. Recently, all I remember is this. All I know is this. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to find ways to put my mind to use in ways that um, I won't have that situation. The all I know is this. All I remember is this type of thing. So yeah, but I am. Life is not fair, but people are more unfair. I'm not sure how you are feeling, but trust me, I'm gonna be okay with this pain and without this pain. After this pain, you will be okay. I appreciate you saying that. And that is true. Um, the odd thing about it is I always try to understand people's situation. You know, that's when you give commentary on things, you look at maybe a video and you give your opinion, you look at someone's life, you give your opinion. Usually, you are so inundated with your opinion based on your personal life experiences to the fact that you don't have the ability sometimes to give them the benefit of the doubt or show them favor, like that, hey, it could be something that's causing this and all of that. I'm not like that. I'm totally different from that, which even for me, sometimes I find it not really funny, but interesting. Um, yeah, I find it interesting sometimes that I have that situation. I find it hard to really, when I see moms that aren't doing right by their kids, I get angry because the child is innocent. But at the same time, instead of just dogging them out about it or being, you know, publicly overly critical of it, I find myself trying to say, hey, don't you know you can do this, this, or this instead of doing what you're doing, which is this, or this, right? Um, and that's the only way I know how to be. But at the same time, it's like, if I know that, they should know that too. You know, some people who do commentary, you know, when they get angry, they express their anger. And that's why a lot of times when people watch commentary or reaction channels, especially talking about other people, they say, oh, those people are bullies, they're mean, they're this, they're that. But it really isn't that. It's them. Um, you don't realize it, but they're really having compassion. They're just not having compassion for the persons whose channel it is. They're having compassion for the innocence that's being lost because of the hurt that the parent is bestowing on their child, or they're having the compassion for the person who didn't ask for the situation and got the bad end of it. And a lot of times people don't understand that about those who do commentary. And then sometimes they do, because a lot of the people who are watching or involved as a spectator in the video that you're creating feel the same way and express the same things. So, but yeah, people can really sometimes be harsh. But I'm talking about commentary, but the fact is, in this video, we're talking about my life. So, yes, people can be very, let me give you an example. Earlier today, I was on live, and so this lady comes in there, and I talk about something dealing with not working or something. I forgot what I said, but she says, "So what? Get a job." And first of all, I immediately laughed because I was like, huh? And I had to think for a second, what would make her say that? And then I thought about what I had said shortly before that, which was, I don't remember what it was, but and then it made me feel some type of way. So I instantly reacted like, girl, just because you assume I don't have a job, which in all intents and purposes, I do not. But I am a disabled vet, so I am compensated for that. So that would be um, that would be where the job comes in. That would be where if I didn't have that situation, I would be able to easily go out and be employed. And yes, that's what she said. But my thing was, you didn't even ask if I had a job. You just assumed that I'm sitting here um, in life choosing to be a deadbeat or choosing whatever she thought. And so then whatever I said to her, then she turns around and gets an attitude even more. I ended up timing her out from the channel. I didn't even block her, which is really what I should have did. But I timed her out because, girl, you don't know my life. I mean, you really don't. And before you just take and go to the extreme, ask the question. So, what are you saying? You don't have money? Well, maybe you should get a job. Like, there was a thousand ways she could have handled that, but she did not. But anyway, I am a disabled vet who is service connected. I do not have a job. And most people who are service connected or have PTSD or have depression and things of this nature don't work because they can't. They and that is a disability. So that is my situation. Now I'm gonna be honest also. When I created the initial video, Living with Depression, and I think I said something about being honest with it or being open or something like that. What I meant is, for a long time, I was told that a person that does commentary shouldn't have a vlogging channel because when you talk about other people's lives, they could take the things in your life and talk about them also. And I didn't question it. I didn't even think about it. I just went with what was said to me. But then I had to think about, but why? I'm probably in a life that people don't see as a good one. But for me, it's still a good life because I'm still alive. And I'm sure there's a lot of people who would love to be that. And that's all they would want. And they would feel like they are on top of the world. Like you have to look at things um, on all sides of that, you know? So, um, yeah, that's where I was. Hold on, y'all. Um, but anyway, um, so I used to, when I first came on here, I was like, do people talk about having depression, being depressed, and all of these? Uh, Maybe she's not intelligent enough to understand how one is feeling or how hard it can be struggling inside. One might look completely okay outside. She clearly lacks intelligence. That's a very insightful thing to say. Um, and not only that, I'm a disabled veteran. I'm not just a, because people can get depression from anywhere. It's not just military. Quite frankly, a lot of people, military, even if they have it, you'll never know because we were trained to do just that thing. Um, you have it together, you find a way to make it be together. If you're making it be together looks different than someone else's, it's okay, but it just better be together. Like that's the mindset, right? That's the training, that's the lifestyle that you were intended to live. And so you learn to be who you were supposed to be in that soldier, and then you turn that shit up, and that's kind of what it is. So most people who have depression, they make themselves look okay. Now my depression is different. I am isolated. And I'm gonna be honest, I've had this channel for a few months, but the fact of the matter is, um, I haven't really been able to post and things because I sit around a lot of times, not having the energy to function, not having the energy to um, get up and put on clothes that you can be around other people in. Like when you're in a gown, you don't necessarily want to be live or come on the camera and talk to people, even if you cover your face or close your camera up, whatever the case is. Because I mean, I could easily be talking to you guys like this, but when you connect with people, primarily you connect with them, you know. So, with me being here, trying to build a group of people to learn me and to be a person and let them in, this is a part of that. Even as difficult as it may be, which is why I haven't really been doing it. Sometimes you do want to be maybe not what others are considered social, but you may want to just be open, not be in hiding, not be in the woods and all the things. Like on my other channel, I really don't have to show my face all the time. So it's different. Um, Although others just consider it being online, some people consider it work. That's work for me because I have to try to take the mission and complete it, right? I mean, I tried to say it another way, but I couldn't think of nothing else. You have your mission, you have your procedures of operation, and then you initiate the mission and you get it to the end. You complete it. That's what I don't know no other way to say it. So that's that. Um, and you don't always want to be closed off. You don't mind people understanding that you have this situation. You don't mind necessarily talking about it. You don't want people to be rude to you, and you don't want to. I always think about I remember going into a psychologist's office one day, and the psychologist was so young looking, like she couldn't have been over 23. And the first thing I thought when I seen her face is, I'm not finna do this to her. I'm not. That was the first and the last day I ever saw her. Because it's like with the shit that I got going on in my life, I said, hell, this lady ain't old enough to handle this shit. It's funny now, but that is really where I went with that. It was like that lady can't handle that shit. Like, I ain't finna do that to her because it's like, just like that's how I got into commentary. When you see these parents and they're doing things that affect their kids in a negative way, you get angry and you want to talk about it. So then I started talking about it. So that's how I got into commentary. Um, because you know better than anybody that when they do something negative to that child, they change that child forever. They damage that child, possibly. Some people can go right through it. Some kids, it affects in a way that they can't overcome it. And so then they become negative, or their great mental health situation starts to do this until it ends up doing that. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how all of that works. And so you have been through something, so you understand better than anyone how that goes. Um, um, yeah. And a lot, because I'm in the VA system, so a lot of times when doctors go to school and they go into training, depending on where they are, they most of those types of um, doctors work in systems, medical hospitals, and a lot of the medical hospitals are joined with the VA systems, and this is kind of where it's almost like we're the test dummies, for lack of a better way to say it. And they learn with you, but for me, it just was too much. It was too for that young lady. It was. I wouldn't even talk to her really because I wouldn't have felt comfortable. She looked like she was two. But anyway, that's how I became a person that does commentary. And to be honest, I really kind of am confused about it. I quit like every month. But then I turn around and, then I try to uh, do better, get better, and all of that. But whatever the case is, we're here. So I decided I wanted to try to be more open, try to talk about things. Most of the time, I sit here, either I have my hair braided down or I have my hair in a ponytail like it is now. Um, and so I don't go live because it's like, um, for me, my depression manifests itself in swiping all my energy. It's an energy thief. I'm tired all the time. I can barely move. I have my psoriasis is up there because it affects me by damaging my joints, collecting in the joints, damaging the joints. So it makes it hard for you to move sometimes. So for me, that's how it looks, right? So a lot of times I don't have energy, which means you don't go to get your nails done. You don't go to get your hair done. You don't go get facials, massages, and all the things. So you also are not a person who just wants to be out looking like a bum. So then that's a part of it. But for me, I also have PTSD. So um, social situations like that aren't something that I do. So being inside. So that's kind of how my life is built. But I'm still a fully viable individual. There's just certain things that I don't do. So I spend a lot of time online. Um, I make my surroundings comfortable and my fun place because this is where I am, right? So just because you have something does not mean you have to forget or end life. You just do stuff a little different. Things look different. So um people focus on having ways to be social. I focus on having ways to be comfortable. When I first came on here and started uh, frequenting, wondering about how people live with depression, I didn't see a lot of people who really talked about it. I didn't see people with depression that just shared their life. So that's what made me want to do it because I'm sure there's other people that was out there like me doing the same thing, looking for a way to see how other people live this life. Um, Wondering, are you the only person who has this situation? So my friend has a camera, and she put on her social media. I don't know if y'all can see that. Oh, you can't see the part that I was trying to let you see. She said, if anybody knows this guy's name, I'll give you $100 because he came up to her house. He saw a package outside. Although he saw her camera, he saw a package outside and stole her package. Wow. So I'm telling her, wow, put it on TikTok. They find everything. Cause that's pretty off. That's crazy. Emptiness is such a weird emotion to explain. How can you explain it to someone? It's not like you don't want to, it's just you can't move around to do basic things. Who doesn't want to take care of themselves, right? Not only that, but you know what? Some people that have depression does not necessarily um they just know this is their life. Like for me, let me speak for myself. I know this is my life. I wouldn't have explained anything saying anything about emptiness. I would have just said, because if this is emptiness, you don't know it's emptiness. You just know this is what you've always felt. Um uh but yeah, you're right. It's difficult with depression. It's extremely hard. Understand. You sound like someone who has maybe had a person in your life that has experienced it or maybe personally experienced it. So if that's the case, and you're, finding a way through, kudos for you as well. Because sometimes, what's the saying? If you know, you know. Yeah. So, y'all, I need to get me a large cup like this and just full of Sonic Ice. I wonder, can you go on DoorDash and order the Sonic Ice? Um, got it. Um, I'm gonna tell you one thing. It's just popped in my head, I guess, because we're having this conversation. I've had these moments to where I was just completely wrecked at some of the things people ask you. When you have PTSD especially certain types of PTSD, things that people wouldn't want to talk about. Yeah, they have depression. They may not want to tell you why. Quite frankly, why does it matter? Now, if they chose to have the conversation with you and talk about it, then okay, because it was their choice. But why you know, when people pass, the natural thing that you ask is, "Oh, what happened?" Um, maybe the family member may not necessarily want to talk about it. Me personally, I don't know that I would ask a family member what happened, but if somebody generally is talking about it, then I might ask what happened. But my point of saying that was to go back and circle back and say when it comes to depression, anxiety disorder, anxiety attacks, even to me, it's kind of faux pas. You don't, if you are a medical professional and you need to know certain things in order to assess and help that individual, you do what you got to do. But if it is a situation to where you are a person trying to help another person, it's like read the room. You can tell if they are okay enough to talk about it or not. You know what I mean? And so if that's the case, that's the case. But I just think it's rude sometimes. Certain things people ask me, even in medical settings, sometimes. But then I guess it's because I've been to mental health doctors here in Arkansas before, and they are so what I'm not used to. Maybe that's the problem. Because I entered the VA health system in Georgia. It's a level of compassion there that they just know how to read you enough to know that they can ask certain things and it's going to be okay, and you can talk about it and you can tell them about it, and it's not going to make your mood or situation worse. Here they don't give a fuck. They just going to say what they going to say, and it's crazy. It's crazy, but I guess it is what it is too, though. um Yeah, I definitely like the healthcare system in Georgia. That's not the only reason I want to move back there. My entire lineage is there. Children, grandchildren, everything is there. You can have family everywhere, but let's be honest, your intimate family structure or your significant others, your offspring, and anybody below that. So some people don't care where they live. They're okay being and doing whatever. That's not my situation. To me, family is very important. The family unit is very important. And that's not always your kids and your grandkids. I mean, because my military family unit is just as important to me as my lineage or linear family unit. So um, that's why I want to be there. And I like it there. Um, I have a friend here, but her life is so different from mine. And quite frankly, trying to be around people that I grew up with makes me feel odd, like the odd girl out. And it's because their life went in different directions. They don't suffer from depression. They don't have depressive situations. And they just live in their life. So it's like when I'm around, they expect me to be like them. And then it just glorifies the fact that you're not. In my mind, that's what it does to me. So that's why I don't necessarily like it. And they don't do it because they want to hurt you. They do it because they live in life. That's how their life is. So, but anyway, I just want to come on here and have a candid conversation. My first of many, talking about living this life. So, in this day in a life of depression, that's this one of the things I wanted to do. I said I was cleaning my room, but I think that's probably gonna be tomorrow. Or the next day. Yeah, that's not happening today. And it's not that I didn't want the room. to be what it is. I just um where they can actually talk about their struggle or whatever. Yeah, this is a safe space for that. You can talk about whatever here. It doesn't just have to be depression. It doesn't just have to be PTSD. Um, you know, and I just want to share my life, day in the life. All the videos won't be day in the life, but I want to be open about it. I want another person who may want to understand their situation or maybe want to see what they're going through in a different way to have somewhere to go. You can come here, you can see what I go through, you can see what I do. You may be able to see something I'm doing that you could share a better way, or vice versa. You may get a tip from here. Another thing that I want to do, which it doesn't say a day in the life of a person dealing with depression up there, it says a day in the life of a veteran. So one of the things that I'd like to do is talk about conditions that veterans have, or conditions that veterans deal with, and I would like to share that with people. Or I'd also like to share conditions or situations and helpful benefits that veterans have. So today it was VRNE, Voc Rehabilitation and Education Program. Some people think it's an education program. Some people think um, it's a school program. But I did a video earlier and I explained it's not either. It is a independence program. It is a program that a veteran with certain disabilities can either be rehabbed in a way that they can get back to their normal of life. They can go to school to find another way to take care of their family because they have disabilities. The independent structure is, let's say, for instance, you have a prosthesis and you finally got that part situated, but you live upstairs, or your house has stairs. So then they may build you a ramp on your house, or they may give you a different tub to help you, or they may anything that will help your life be more independent. You can't go a lot, so they buy you a computer. Like, it is so many things that um, you can get out of that program. So that's just a program that I wanted to introduce. So I plan to introduce others too. So at any rate, um, yeah. So that was my veteran tip for the day: the VRNE program. Um, what it can do, how do you apply for it if you're a veteran? Also, there is a voc rehab program for non-vets as well, ran by your city. So if you're not a veteran, um, then you can go. I don't know where non-vets go, but whatever school you'd like to go to maybe get a new career or whatever, you go there and you ask for the voc rehab program. They'll give you the information for the program. Most of the time, it's the one that's affiliated with veterans. Ask them about the non-VA one, because there is one. They give you $50 if you're in school. They'll give you $50 a month for gas to get back and forth to school. Now the VA one will help pay your baby child care if you have that. They'll give you a $200 voucher to go to J.C. Penney's and get you some clothes so you can go to school. I think the non-VA program does that one too. So they're trying to get you in a place of independence so that you can take care of yourself and be self-sufficient, that you do not have to necessarily struggle. You do not have to necessarily um, rely on these social services that people want to criticize you because you get. Now, some people are on them because they want to be and they don't want to be productive. So those, maybe they should be criticized. But other people, they're on them because that's all they got. And it also could be that's all they know. They mama had it, they mama's mamas had it. So, so there's reasons for everything. You look at the why of it and then you make the assessment and then you talk about it. But whatever the case is, when it comes to the program today, that's the program that I shared, the VRNE program. Most cities have it. It's usually ran with most social service organizations that the city have. Now, a lot of the social services come from the county, but whatever the case is, you just look up vocational rehabilitation. If you are not VA affiliate or anything of that nature, you ask them for the non-VA affiliate program that are out there. Um, until you get that, just go to, if you want to go to school, if you want to change your life, you want to get into better situations, you go to the school, you apply at a school. Even if you got to start out with the JUCO, that's fine. If you're bad in math, they'll help you. They'll help get you into the math program. If you need English, they will do kind of like a remedial refresher English to get you where you can go to school. And then you have Pell Grant. While those programs are still out there, y'all better get them and use them. I don't even give a shit if you have to get a loan. Most people got student loans in school because they needed it. They got the loan, they went to school, they educated themselves, they got better jobs, and then they became self sufficient. So, anyway, I hope that was helpful to somebody. If you guys have questions, do not hesitate to ask. What I will say is on this channel, you will learn about me, you will learn about my life, you will see me live my life. Talk about things that I go through. Sometimes I'll talk about being a veteran. I really didn't have a traditional um, military existence. I was in MEDAC. Our life was different, and I wasn't a uh, 11B, which is 11 Bravo, which is a combat medic. I wasn't a person who could function anywhere in the military space. I was the type of medic, veteran, or active duty service member that had to function in a hospital. I worked with orthopods, podiatrists, um, things of that nature. So I always had to be in those type of environments. So I didn't do fields. I didn't go to the field. I didn't go to the front lines. Nothing like that. So my experience as a active duty service member was a lot different than others. Before that, I was a 71 Lima, which was a administrative specialist. So I worked in PAC. I'm the person that when you came in, we entered your information into our system to make you a part of our company. We would assign you to certain details. We would put you wherever your job was, and we had openings, things of that nature. I didn't work in the part that handled orders personally, so I didn't have a lot of the intricacies there. The biggest job I had in admin was doing ID cards. And I'm gonna leave that there. I mean, it was an uneventful job, but it did give you certain privileges to do certain things. So, in those certain things, I love that job. Also, I didn't work hard there, but I did do PT. Now, I was never in the type of unit that even in that job, that I had to go to the field and all of that. The only thing I did that normal Army veteran or now veterans, but active duty service people. The only thing that I did that I can think of that they did on a regular basis was PT and the PT test. All of my jobs were intellectual jobs where I had to use my brain. So I remember last week I did a live on my other channel. That channel, um, let me. So this is on my channels. Um, Oh, y'all can't see my finger. Can y'all see my finger? Oh, it don't look the same. But that very top YouTube channel, Just Me CMB, that's my main channel where I do commentary and stuff, right? So I was doing a video on there. I forgot what the heck I was talking about, but one of the young ladies, her response to my video was um talking about oh, thank you, love. Thank you. Thank you for becoming a subscriber. I really appreciate that. Be sure to hit that like button too. Guys, as you come in or maybe watch this, please hit that like button for me. Um, but what I was going to say was, she came in and she talked about, yeah, you going live and you talking about this girl, but I couldn't understand you. Your audio was bad, and sometimes you would pause when you're talking. And I ain't gonna lie, it kind of internalized just for a little while because sometimes I do be talking about stuff. I know what I'm talking about, I know what I'm trying to say, but then it's like it may be a word that I need to say. I forget sometimes. And my grandmother died of Alzheimer's or dementia, one of the two. So every time I forget a word, it freaks me out because it's like, oh, do I have that? And I'm so scared of that that I won't talk to my doctor about it because Lord Jesus, if she was to tell me that, like, I don't think I can mentally handle that. So I just don't even go down that road. But it is what it is. Thank you. Thank you so much. But yeah, so I'm not ready to have that conversation with a doctor. So I heard what the girl said. I internalized it for a little minute because that's just how my PTSD works, regurgitating thoughts. Um, you may hyper vigilant or be overly focused on something. Um, so yeah, that's the me in it. But anyway, um, I am going to. I think I've been running my mouth long enough. I thank you guys for jumping in here. Please share the video with anybody who is military, veteran, or affiliated. Looking for my tribe out here. Thank you for those of you who have watched. Thank you um, for becoming a subscriber. I really appreciate it. And if you guys have any questions about anything that we talked about today or anything that you may think I know about, I love to talk. I love to share what I know, all the things. So let me know. Thank you. Bless you as well. And hopefully, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.